So welcome everybody. And Tim, do you have an anthem for us this morning, please?
I do. I found one actually from extremely local, a Alliston group. Well, actually, it's from St. Paul's. They're the Glee of Canada a couple years ago. So here we go.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us commend. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
That's great. Thank you, Tim.
You can tell it was recorded really early in the morning in Barrie because half of the kids are like, "Why am I here?"
That was great. Thank you, Tim. Okay, Sergeant at Arms, Al, what do you have for us this morning?
Good morning, President Ed. Good morning, fellow Rotarians, and good morning to Paul and Debbie and to John. Thank you for joining us this morning. And Doug, nice to see you this morning from the Barrie Club, our mentor. Nice to see you. How are you bearing up in town? Everything okay?
Everything's fine. We get our second dose on Friday.
Right. Sue and I are going also. Yeah, that's good. Okay, Doug Weber. Doug has been a member of our club as of yesterday for 10 years. 10 years, Doug. I remember you coming into the club, and I remember very early on, we all ended up down in the Dominican working on a humanitarian trip, and that brings back memories, and you've been back a lot of times. But Doug, just very quickly, the last 10 years, it's gone pretty quick, hasn't it?
Sorry about that. Yeah, it's gone by very quick, but we've accomplished a lot over the last 10 years. We've grown up quite a bit.
And Doug, tomorrow is your birthday. And from all of us here at the club, a very happy birthday to you tomorrow. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
Why, thank you very much.
All right. So almost 46 years ago, Sue and I moved to this lovely town of Innisfil. At that time, it was a lot larger than it is now. Some memories I have of the town are the Maple View and the 400 intersection. When you go up there now and you're part of, I can't remember the number of traffic lanes there. At one time, it was a 2-lane dirt road underneath a bridge, underneath the 400 highway. 2-lane dirt road, and look at it now. We've come a long way in this area. A lot has happened. But I saw something, actually, Jan sent me a message the other day about something that's happening, and it just showed me how far Innisfil has come and the things that we're involved in. So for your information, folks, on Friday, June the 18th at 5 o'clock, Nantyre Shores and Bradford High, in collaboration with the Office of the Graduation Coaches, presents an evening of excellence. The theme, Overcoming Obstacles and Moving Forward, with local artists and the Toronto All Steel Band. It's going to be a big event, and the guest speaker, none other than our very own Dwayne. And Dwayne, this sounds like a wonderful event. Do you want to just take a couple of seconds and let us know about it?
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be the keynote speaker. I'm gonna be introducing the event and just sharing some words of wisdom to the young generation in hopes that they carry on into more successful things, and they involve themselves, and they, you know, take more risk in life as they move forward. So that's what I'm going to put on them. And I hope you guys are able to join in and listen in to my words of wisdom.
Well, Dwayne, all the best for the evening. And fellow Rotarians, you know, we're getting some wonderful people into our club these days, and I think Dwayne is shown just in a very short while that we've known him that he's quite a character. And Dwayne, all the best to you on Friday night. Okay.
Thank you very much for your support.
Okay, President Ann, that's all I have this morning.
Okay, thank you, Al. I think I've mentioned a few times I was fortunate enough to attend the last Evening of Excellence, and I was blown away by the students. They were absolutely incredible. So I'm certainly looking forward to part 2 this Friday. So good luck, Dwayne. You're a fantastic choice to be the keynote speaker. Okay, moving on. Who's introducing our illustrious speaker today? Jen, go ahead, please.
I can just give a brief intro, because I think that Ken will be kind of introducing himself and giving us a little bit of his history. But Ken Simpson is a seasoned member of the Rotary Club of Innisfil. We're very grateful for him to share this vocational speech, just to kind of show our new members what these presentations are all about, and so that we can learn a little bit more about Ken. So please join me in welcoming Ken.
Good morning. How are you? Good morning, everyone. Yeah, a speech. I guess this is probably maybe my 6th or 7th speech I've had to give, but this time I'm not trying to get elected. Anyways, my name is Ken Simpson, and I've been a resident of Innisfil since 1986, when I think there was one street light in town, as a matter of fact, Al. Back in 1986, I lived on Church Street in Lefroy, where the original one-room schoolhouse was. They eventually tore it down, and they built a beautiful park there. But I was a member of the Guildford and District Lions Club back in 1986, 1987. And that was my first opportunity to do any kind of community work. And I enjoyed the fellowship. And I actually got to meet a lot of people joining the Guildford and District Lions Club. I am retired right now. I started with the City of Toronto in 1977. I was welcomed into the clerk's office as a printer for the council minutes for the city. And in those days, I guess I was 20 years old. And I got to meet some remarkable people. At that age, I was very in awe of, you know, seeing John Sewell every day, Mayor Crombie every day. They came in and needed stuff printed. We got their council minutes done for them. Joe Piccinini was always some of you may know that name. He was a pretty funny guy. From then I moved on to public health. I was a pest control investigator for 20 years. While still in Innisfil here, I was seconded to a special program with the City of Toronto, the drug prevention program. I think it was in 1988, where they started up a program. It was called the Needle Exchange, the Works. I was a drug counselor educator, and we worked on the street with youth and mature adults. We visited sites every night in a van, and sometimes we would do this on foot. And there was also a house that was rented that folks could come to and get counseling, do needle exchange, and reduce the instance of spread of disease. That was a life-changing opportunity for me, as I'd never had a lot of contact with street folks. But it was good. It was a great opportunity. I was there for 2 years, and then I went back to my regular job. And then I joined the Toronto Fire Department as a fire inspector. So for the last 16 years, I was a fire inspector down in Toronto, and that was a very enjoyable job. And I guess I should tell you one funny story. when I first started, we went to one of the more, I guess, famous theaters in downtown Toronto, my captain and I. And we sat down in front of the owner. I'll just say his name was Mervish. And my captain proceeded to tell him that he had to change all the doors on the Royal Alexandra Theatre. And I'm sitting there looking at this whole scenario unfold, and he threw us out. He says, that's not happening. So that was my introduction to Toronto Fire and this illustrious captain who was very paramilitary, but it was a great learning experience. I guess one of the other good things that did take place during my tenure at the works was we took part in a movie put on by David Suzuki, The Nature of Things, and they highlighted the 4 drug prevention programs around the world: Amsterdam, New York, Toronto, and I think London. So we took part in that, and that was very interesting. But moving on to Toronto Fire, it was a great experience as an inspector, whereas you can walk into just about any place you like. The top floor of the theater that was closed down on Yonge Street, the Garden Theater, and walk around and observe things that probably a lot of the public just don't see. And it was a pretty exciting job. I now live on Simcoe Boulevard with my wife, and we have 2 daughters each. One of my daughters is in Sault Ste. Marie, one of them is in Vancouver, and there's 2 girls here. We have grandchildren. I'm just trying to think. Oh, I also had to take a second job. If you don't mind me saying, I'm just going to unfold this as a story. So I took a second job in 1994, 95, driving limo. It wasn't really a limousine. It was a sedan, a 4-door. It was called public private limousine. And we had a contract with CTV and CBC. And I guess I met some pretty fabulous people in those days. And Michael Moriarty, one of the nicest people that I ever met was Julia Childs. I had to drive her down to the CBC for an interview, and what a lovely lady she was. But one of the worst experiences I had was, I guess, one of the owners of Maple Leaf Gardens got in the car, who met a fella who was doing a concert at Roy Thompson Hall, and they were having a fight on King Street with their girlfriend, one of their girlfriends. And I had to drive the car along King Street, him trying to get this girl in. It was the silliest thing I ever saw. Anyways, that was a great experience, driving limousine. I met some nice people. I used to take Pamela Wallen from the CBC, who is now, I think she's still a senator, but I used to take her grocery shopping to No Frills. So I was very fortunate to be asked to join the Rotary Club of Innisfil. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Barb, but it would have been 2014, I believe. And what a great experience. I agreed to come to a couple of meetings. As we all know, come to a couple of meetings, see if you like what goes on there, and it was a great experience for me. I've never regretted joining Innisfil Rotary. The fellowship is fantastic. The work that the Rotary clubs do around the world in Innisfil is second to none. And Rotary always gives back to the community, and you know that you have a friend in Rotary. If there's any questions, please ask away. If not, I think that's pretty much my bio. That's my story, and I'm happy to be here.
Thanks, Ken. I think you missed a piece.
What was that?
You were a councillor, right?
Oh, that's right too. I was on council in 1999 for a 3-year term. Back in those days, we were in the old council chambers. It was a very small building, but it was fun. And then again, I was elected in 2010, 10 years later, into and that's when we joined the council meetings in the new council chambers. Council was a great experience. It was a learning experience. As you all know, half the people love you, half the people hate you. But I always try to do a good job, and Barb can tell you, I think we were all honest in doing our job the best way we could. And by the way, Barb was our first woman mayor back in 2010. Isn't that correct, Barb? Yes, it was. So yeah, been a great experience in Innisfil here. I have been, I guess, a member of a few other organizations. I was the chairman of Crime Stoppers in Innisfil for, I think, 9 or 10 years. And presently, I sit on the grant review team for the Trillium Foundation for the province. And I'm looking forward to, we're going to be doing grant reviews, I think, June 25th. And I think there's $10 million to be given out. So it should be an exciting time for the people of Ontario. Yes, thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Ken. Does anybody have any comments or questions for Ken?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dwayne.
Hey, Ken, in terms of the Trillium Fund, I'd love to get some more information, maybe offline, about any sort of available grants that I could be potentially eligible for.
Yeah, I can give you general information. That's not an issue. I can't answer specific questions about any grant that you may have, and I guess you understand that anyways, but I'd be more than happy to discuss it with you. They want to give the money out. They're looking forward to people putting in their applications. Yes, that's a great idea. Anytime, Dwayne, contact me, we can discuss it.
Perfect.
Thank you. Sue, go ahead, please.
I just, I may have missed it because I miss a lot these days, but did Ken mention that he was president of our Rotary Club?
Yeah, yeah.
I was president of the club in 2017-18. That was fun. That was a good experience. And for those of you that are thinking about becoming president-elects, I say step forward and do it because it's a great experience and it's not a lot of work. But I mean, Anne, you've done a fantastic job as the president. I'm not sure that I was, you know, you were organized. I was not that organized, but what a great experience becoming the president of the club, yes.
I appreciate that comment, Ken, but I'm sure you were a fantastic president as well. I wasn't part of the club during that period of time, but I remember when I saw the announcement in the local paper that you'd become the president of the Rotary Club, and I was thinking, I wasn't a member of Rotary then, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And for those who don't know, Anne's husband was one of my captains at Toronto Fire for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I don't think he was the one who was thrown out of the meeting with Ed Mervish, though, right?
No, that was another guy. And Bruce knows him.
Okay, Al, you have a comment or a question.
So Ken, you mentioned when you're on council, and of course we all know that when you're a councillor in Innisfil, half the people love you and half the people hate you. There's nothing you can do about it. But would it be fair to say that after you joined Rotary, you found out that everybody loves you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good fellowship in Rotary.
Can I just say also, President Ann, Ken and I knew each other obviously when we were working together on council, but I have to tell you that as evidenced by his presentation this morning, Ken is always a gentleman. I always enjoyed working with him at the council table because from time to time there's acrimony and less than kind things said and those sorts of things. That never happens when you're working with Ken. And I say that honestly. I don't think we ever, sometimes we disagreed, but we never had a fight, and which is better than my marriage for sure. And it was a time of learning too, and a time of serving. And when people ask why you get involved in local politics, that's why. It's the same reason you're a great Rotarian. It's about learning and serving, and you do both well. And both instances where we've been together, worked together. It's been a growth experience for me for sure, and I hope you. But the club should benefit from some of those experiences you just talked about that you've had, and to provide depth to our club. I just really enjoy you being a Rotarian with us.
Well, thanks for those comments, Barb. And just an aside to that, one of the counselors, and maybe Barb wouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to. One of the counselors said to her one day, "You're not my boss. You can't tell me what to do." And they were entirely correct, but no one ever said that before. It was funny, but Barb handled it well.
Thanks, Ken. Warren, it's nice to see you this morning as well. Welcome to the meeting. Okay, did anybody else have any more comments for Ken before we move on? Okay, well, thank you, Ken. Oh, sorry, Michael, go ahead.
Sorry, just really, really quick, Ken, in all your years in the city of Toronto, did you ever cross paths with the film industry?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just trying to remember, only because I met so many from Toronto Fire through the years as a location manager, and I'm just curious if we ever crossed paths. Maybe we did. Your name sounds very familiar.
Street Station, and in my tenure there, the chief took me under his wing because I was a little older than some of the other fellows when I started, and I got my pyrotechnics license. So him and I used to go to the theaters for the indoor pyro permits.
Oh, so but now, in terms of the film industry, when we used to blow stuff up on the street, did we ever cross paths?
No, not on the street.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
thank you, Michael. And Ken, thank you for speaking today for the benefit of our newer members. This is kind of an example of what a vocational speech is all about. It's an opportunity for your fellow Rotarians to get to know you better, to understand, you know, what your background was and what your interests are and what you're involved in. So I know Jen or Bob will be contacting the different Rotarians to set up their vocational speeches, and some of the more seasoned Rotarians, it would be nice to hear their stories as well, because a lot of people, you know, are fairly new to the club and may not know the backgrounds of our wonderful members. So thanks again, Ken, really appreciate it. Okay, moving forward. Beer for a year. Jeff.
Oh boy. All right, everything's going. I have tickets being printed as we speak here now. I should have them by the end of the week for everybody to start handing out. So I think when we start doing our beer bottle collections, everybody's going to have books in their hands to be sold, and our prizes are all listed on the tickets, and our draw date is I can't remember, December something, 8th, and our early bird is the September 1st, when we have a $500 and a $200 second and third prize, and we got tickets that are $10 each, or 3 for $25. And we got 1,500 tickets to get rid of. So everybody better be in the selling mood, because it's going to take a lot of work to get rid of all these tickets and make some cash for our club. So.
Okay,
well, there is something I can add to that. So we are still going to do the online option, like similar to the way we did the 50-50 draw. So people can still purchase, and we will send them the physical copy, which would still allow us to fit the criteria that the town has.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Jeff, have we given any consideration to selling at the farmers market again this year?
Oh, probably, if we can get some volunteers. Unfortunately, I'm still working, so I have very minimal days that I can do it, but I probably get the chance or an opportunity once or twice over the summer. And with the Beer for a Year licensing, it's taken us so long because the town's been very, very busy. And we're going to do it virtual originally, but then to do it virtual, we had to get a different licensing from a different organization, which is a lot more work. So we decided to go back to old school with the printed tickets, and we'll go from there. And hopefully after this is over, we can start our major draw for next year if COVID is over. And we'll do a little bit better hopefully on the next year draw.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. As you know, I have an appointment at the town tomorrow to pick up the license. So as soon as I have it, I will send copies to you and Tim, so it can be posted if necessary.
Perfect.
So thank you. Thank you. Okay.
President Ann, will we be getting a poster for the publicity for the Beer for Year?
Tim?
Yes. Yes. So my thought is that, well, there already is a website that I've begun creating. And so my thought is, I was going to talk about that during this meeting, is that because we have 3 different projects we're working on simultaneously, we really should try seeing how we can align them. And each should obviously benefit each other. So between the 50-50, the bottle drive, and the fun run, we really should be advertising them together in some fashion, because I think that would just benefit each other. So I will have, I'm working on the others right now, and I'll have the Beer for a Year later today.
Sorry, it's just, yeah, we just want to promote it before people start selling it. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Also, by the end of the week, when I have the tickets, I'm going to send out an email, and everybody's send me their address, and I will get tickets to you. And hopefully everybody takes 10 books, and then it should all be over and done with very quickly.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Jeff. Okay, bottle drive. We had quite a meeting last night about the bottle drive. So, Doug, I'm going to turn it over to you for a minute.
Thanks, President Ann. I feel like the Goodyear tires just hit me. Okay. That's what a bus looks like from the bottom. But you're exactly right. We've had several discussions about this, trying to put this together. Obviously, COVID is throwing some wrenches into things. I think we've got some things figured out. And where we are now is we're going to kick it off with one solid event on July the 10th, which is the week after the July 1st long weekend-ish. We're going to go with 3 different places. One is the Innisfil Community Church, right on Innisfil Beach Road. The second one is going to be Smith Lumber in Cookstown. And the third site, to be confirmed this afternoon, will be the Legion in...
Just go to Debbie at this point, because Debbie, I think you've been talking to Friday Harbour as well to see if we can do a bottle drive at Friday Harbour. You're on mute, Debbie.
Yep.
Debbie. Okay.
Yes, actually, I spoke with Leanne, who's the Chief Sales and Marketing Person at Friday Harbour, and it was actually a good meeting yesterday because today they have their executive. So she's bringing it up to them, and their big thing is that the summertime probably won't work the best because of all the tourism, and their parking lots are not available on Saturdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and sometimes on Sundays. So they said a better date would be sometime in September, or if we can do something during the week in the summer, that would also work with them. So she's actually, we talked about all of these, and she's going to propose it to her executive, and I'm just kind of let them tell us what would work the best, and then we can go from there. Their site person too, their maintenance individual, is very good with logistics. And another idea we came up with is, because they have a lot of buildings and they have their islands and their marine town and everything, it might be good to set up 1 day or 2 days in front of each of those specific buildings and just gather all the bottles as people are coming down. They don't want us in the buildings, and the parking lots is another option too. So I'm just waiting to hear back from her.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Debbie, for making that reach out there. As far as our volunteers, some people, some of our members may not be able to stand around for several hours accepting bottles. So maybe there are other roles that some of our members might wish to volunteer for in connection with the bottle drive. So please let me have those suggestions as well. Appreciate that.
Oh, I have a question.
Go ahead, Eleanor.
Does this include liquor bottles?
Yes, it's beer and liquor and wine bottles.
And
If
homemade
anything,
wine bottles?
I guess any bottles that could be returned to the beer store. Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking of the homemade, when you make your homemade wine, it comes sort of in a green bottle, those bottles.
Yeah, I don't think there's any limit, Doug, do you, on what bottles they will accept? And I think the location where we are, Doug has a good relationship with the beer store in Stroud, and I think that's where we are going to do all our returns to, because the one in Alcona is a little difficult and to get into and is super busy all the time. And so the beer store in Stroud is going to provide the bags and everything for the packaging of the cans and things like that. So I don't know if, oh, Teresa's online. Yeah, Teresa has already managed to let her entire neighborhood know not to take anything back to the beer store. And she already has a garage full, I think, of returns, just ready for when we go ahead with this. So thanks for that, Teresa. Okay, any other questions on that? Obviously, a lot more information will be coming out as soon as it's available.
And
go ahead, Barb.
There's no limit on the age of our helpers. Like just because it's around liquor issues, we're just saying that anybody who's comes with their parent could help. Right?
Oh, I see what you mean. You mean, can we have like young people? Yeah, there's a couple of people have already said they're going to bring their grandkids.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that
there's no actual liquor involved. It's just empty bottles and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. Just wanted.
Okay, thanks, Barb. Okay, let's move on to the virtual run. So, Dean.
I have to admit, I haven't seen too much. I've been preoccupied. Is Tim still on?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Everyone's moved around. I think we're just waiting on the website and wording to be launched. So how are we with that? Should we set up a meeting this week, Tim?
Yes, please. I think we need a little bit more content. So I've had a lot of work this last week, so, so I can't do all of the content, unfortunately. So if we can have a powwow to actually kind of firm that together, that would appreciate it.
Okay, you free tonight?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I'll call you when I get home from work. All right, well, we'll have this set up.
Okay. Actually, before we move on to new business, Tim, I think you should tell everyone your story about your first experience going back into your office in Toronto.
Oh, okay. So we had to go down to, or my wife specifically had to go down to Sick Kids Hospital with a family friend. Nothing urgent, but it was just one of these situations where the hospital say it could be weeks and weeks before you have your follow-up tests, but if you actually go into emerge at some of the places, it'll expedite the issue. But my wife does not feel comfortable driving in the city at all. And Sick Kids is at a really, really busy area that's kind of scary to drive in. So I checked in with work to see if it was okay, if I could go in. And they said, not great, but you know, just go ahead. And if they kick you out, you know, so I took her down first thing in the morning, and we got there. It was a ghost town. It's my building is right at Harbourfront, you know, basically Queens Quay and Bay Street. So I'm used to seeing, you know, thousands upon thousands of people there all the time, and it's like I go in and it's like myself, the security guard, one or two other people, and there's a RBC branch there, and there's nobody around that either. So spending time on my floor at work with nobody around was the most eerie thing I've ever had. And I ended up being there at almost 6 o'clock at night and didn't see a soul. So that was really, really just awe-inspiring just to kind of experience that. So
it sounds like it was a bit of a Mary Celeste kind of situation where everything was left as if you were coming back the next day.
Yeah, I had all my
a year ago.
Yeah, I still had stuff on my desk and like my good shoes so that I could wear just my runners into work and then change them my good shoes. They were still sitting there, and all my fundraising efforts from last year's one walk, and so I ended up taking a lot of that stuff home with me afterwards, just in case it's another year before I go back in again.
Yeah, that's a great story. Thanks for sharing that with us, Tim. Okay, so moving on. I'm delighted to announce, as you know, Michael Stanley had to step back from assuming the role of chair of the membership committee because he is going to be leaving us and moving back to Toronto. But I am delighted to announce that Monica Domain will be taking over the role as chair of the membership committee. So congratulations, Monica. I'm really looking forward to you taking over that position. And I know Chris will be a very good mentor for you for that. So thank you, Monica. And again, I am more than delighted to announce that we have a president-elect. And our president-elect is going to be Tim Norton.
Thank you.
Which is fantastic because he doesn't have enough to do, obviously. So needed to take on some additional responsibilities. So when Dean takes over as president, Tim will be his president-elect, and then will be president for the 2022-23 year. So that's fantastic. Congratulations, Tim. We're excited about that. Just a reminder, we still need a president nominee. So when Tim takes over as president, he will need a president-elect as well. So again, we've got some great people in the club who would be great in these leadership positions. So please consider it. Okay, we got a request from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's for well, Sue got it, Sue Gilchrist received it. And it's to build a backyard oasis for a young girl in Innisfil. And obviously it's because it's a Make-A-Wish, there must be a serious situation with the young girl in question. And they've put together pretty detailed garden plans on what they want to do to create this oasis for this young girl. They're going to start on the 26th of June. I think it's looking at the plans are quite extensive. So I think it will take a few weekends to complete this. I've also talked to Assistant-elect District Governor Bard to see if it's a project that the Barrie Rotarians may be interested in as well. But if we do have any members who are interested in helping with this, it's a perfect project for Rotarians to be involved in. Again, please let me know. It's in Innisfil. I don't know the actual address in Innisfil, but it will start on the 26th of this month.
It's the Rotaractors we're going to ask too, right? Like the Rotaractors, yes. not the Rotary Club. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, the Rotaractors. Sue, did you want to add anything else to that? Because you've actually talked to the person.
Well, for some reason, our number is still the contact with the Rotary Club. So this man, who is a landscape architect from Welland, I think, contacted us, and he gave me all the information. And I said I would pass it on. Something got lost in translation, and he assumed that we were taking it over. Anyway, there's been some back and forth with, there's two people that are contacting, that I'm passing emails on to. I'm kind of the go-between. I'm really not involved. I don't know much about it other than what's in the emails, but she is the child is a Make-A-Wish candidate. She's been accepted. I guess they do quite an investigation into what they require. What they need, it appears what they need is bodies to help install this this backyard play area. And it's really quite extensive. There's a shade sail, and there's a play garden and a play wall and this kind of thing for this little girl, because she can't go out into ordinary playgrounds. The information, I've sent the information on to Anne every time I get an email. I've tried to tell them people to to contact that it had to go through the board and to contact Anne directly, but I still seem to get emails, and had a nice chat with the man. He was very nice, and this is all free, and they now have a contractor to install it. I think a fellow from Barrie, Tyler somebody. I'm sorry, I don't know the last name.
Yeah.
But what they require are bodies to help, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Sue. I'm not sure where your number or address is listed, because I know right now my phone number is on our website and stuff, but that's kind of highlights why you've got to be careful what numbers or anything you put on materials, because they'll be around for years to come when somebody finds a reference to something. So again, if anybody is interested in providing physical work for this project, please let me know. And Barb, I know, as you said, this could be an ideal project for the Barrie Rotaractors to get involved in as well. It's kind of their thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've sent it off, but they don't meet quite as regularly as we do. But is there a deadline in it, Anne? I don't remember.
Well, they want to start the work on the 26th of this month.
So that'd be a big deadline.
Yeah. But
okay.
I mean, Sue and I think both agree, looking at the plans, it's not going to be a one-day project. So,
Warren says sign him up, Anne.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks, Warren. Okay. Okay. All right. Moving on. We received information about a youth engagement workshop, which is being held tomorrow. And I believe everybody got this one from the district. It's a workshop that they want to put together for Indigenous youth and non-Indigenous youth in our district. And they're looking for youth to be recommended between grades 9 and 11 who have shown leadership skills, and they want to put together a committee of 25 Indigenous and 25 non-Indigenous teens. There is a meeting tomorrow night, an information workshop, and Michael Tuff has indicated that he will attend that workshop and hopefully let us know more about it once he's attended the workshop.
May I just a minor correction on that?
Okay.
That I do have a previous commitment that afternoon that I will make every effort to get to the Zoom call by 5. I should be fine.
Yeah, and I will try and call into it as well. I've got another meeting that might coincide with it, but I will also try and call in as well. So thank you, Michael. The other one that I think everybody received an email about was the free reading program. And it's a program that our district has recommended. It's an online reading program. I don't know too much about it yet. There are some online videos which explain it a little more. Maybe it's something we should look at and consider, given that we're not doing the apple dumpling books this year. So it's apparently been used throughout the world. And right now, I'm not sure if anybody here has been attending the RI convention, but it's quite a big topic at the current RI convention that's going on right now. So again, I'll look at some of those videos and see if that's something that we could potentially consider for our area as well. Okay, on June 21st, Janet's not here today. Janet did hold a session the other night to explain Club Runner. It wasn't very well attended, so she is going to potentially hold another one. And I really encourage our newer members and some of our more seasoned members to attend the session just to learn some of the interesting features within Club Runner that you may not be aware of. So she's going to announce the date of that second Club Runner session, but she's also holding a session on June 21st for the history, to explain the history of our club and an explanation of Rotary in general. And again, more for the benefit of our newer members to really understand how we as a club fit within our district, within our zone, within RI and stuff like that. I've heard Janet's presentation before, and she has a lot of knowledge, and it would be a very good session for everyone to attend. So Janet will be sending out the history about that one. Okay, we haven't got a lot of time left, but we don't have too many still on the line. So how about we do a good news round? Anne, do you want to give us some good news?
Well, thanks, President Ann. Everything's good here on the farm. I guess my good news is we are happily looking forward to the arrival of 2 new grandchildren in the next few months.
That's great. Congratulations. How many will that be?
That will make a total of 6.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Dean.
I'm just happy to see everyone this morning. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, Dean. Doug? Doug Weber?
Good morning. Well, the Quebec border is back open as of this morning, so it's kickstands up and we're headed north.
Thanks, Doug. Okay, Tim.
Just honestly happy to be here this morning. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure you are with all the extra work you were given. Thanks, Tim. Ken?
I'd just like to say, everyone, have a really nice week. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. Sue?
The next time you see Al and I, you won't recognize us because we will have had our second shot. We're very excited. Yes.
That's great. I'm getting mine today, so I'm excited about that. So Al, what would you like to share?
So geese on the lake are a huge problem for those of you who already live there and know it. Some of the estates on the lake are up to 13 acres with a lot of grass. Some of the lawns, you just can't walk on them for the geese. But today at one of the estates, we're replacing the grass with AstroTurf. A huge job and very, very expensive. But the installers guarantee that the geese will not go on the AstroTurf. So I have my doubts, but I'll keep you informed. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I have my doubts too. Our neighbors have AstroTurf and the geese are on the AstroTurf. So, okay, Susie.
Good morning. Sean and I were able to get our second Pfizer shot, so we're happy about that. And we're eagerly awaiting the opening of the border so we can go see our grandkids. And I got to see my mom on Friday last week, so that was good.
That's great. Thanks, Susie. Dr. Doug.
Well, it's all good. Happy and healthy. The flowers are blooming. The lawnmower runs. Second vaccine on Friday. Can't get better than that.
Thank you. Dwayne? Dwayne, you're on mute.
Oh, so exciting. I just started a new campaign called All Out. So it's basically encouraging people to go more outdoors, to canoeing, bike riding. So if you guys are on Instagram, check out All Out CA. We'll be releasing content to support people going more in the wilderness. So check it out.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dwayne. Debbie and Paul, do you have something to share?
Actually, we do. We got our building permit, and on Monday, they started excavating our property. So I live in a castle surrounded by a small moat with lots of dirt.
Thanks, Debbie. Eleanor.
Well, my good news is I'm now receiving emails from Club Runner. It was how I had my bell set up. And also, but I still have 76 emails that are locked in that I can't release. But that's okay. I'm getting up-to-date emails now.
Okay.
I thought I was blacklisted for a while.
Thanks, Eleanor. Barb and Warren, do you have anything to share?
Well, the gardens are doing well, and it's fun being out on the water with the kayaks. Come on, guys, let's go.
Thanks,
and good news, bad news, we're not sure. Hopefully good. Our grandson, that little baby boy, got his driver's license yesterday, is full and complete access to drive. Now he just has to find a car.
That's great. I saw some article on the news last night about how many delays there have been in people trying to get a road test.
He did his at 2:30 yesterday afternoon. I don't know how he got in so quickly, but you know.
That's great. Okay, John, do you have any good news you'd like to share with us?
The good news I have is we're hopefully getting out of the COVID situation. Started last Friday, so we're looking forward to moving forward.
That's great. Thank you, John. Jeff?
Oh, everything's good. I have my second shot in for a week already and change, and everything else is good. The lottery's good, so we're off and running.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Michael?
Two things very, very quickly. To Doug, universal symbol. Keep them both on the ground, my friend. And to Whitney, congratulations. The Stevenson Foundation was our big winner at 100 Men Who Give a Damn last week. Thanks to Andrew for nominating her, and thank you, Whitney, for a great presentation.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Jen?
I took Monday off and was able to get down to St. Catharines to see my parents. So it's the first time I've seen them since before Christmas. So it was just really nice to see them, still distant, still careful, but just felt good to actually see them in person.
That's great. Thank you. Robert?
Fully vaccinated as of last Friday, so happy about that. And our restore opening is still on schedule for July 5th.
Great, thanks, Robert. Chris Beggs?
Okay, good morning. Well, I have to report that I've seen 2 monarchs back, and 1 monarch was at the milkweed at here, not laying eggs though, just sipping nectar from the flowers. And I got my second vaccine, which is great. So everything's looking up. The tulip tree, which is out of range, it's got to be 40 feet now. And it's the one with the green tulips with the apricot colored band on. Anyway, way out of range, but it's happy here. I planted it when we came in '89. So global warming is allowing it to survive. Have a good week, everybody.
Thanks, Chris. Teresa?
I'm just happy to be here, and I just realized that it's my grandson's birthday today, so I'm gonna FaceTime him right when I'm off with you guys.
Okay, thanks, Teresa. Whitney?
Thanks, Anne. As Michael said, I was very lucky to speak to the 100 Men Who Give a Damn in Innisfil, and we were lucky to be the winning recipient, so that's very exciting. Also, last week, I had my directorial debut, directed my very first video shoot for the hospital. So that was really nice to sit down with some people who were born at the hospital, people who ran the ambulance as volunteers before there was ambulance service in Simcoe County. Crazy. So that was really fun to hear all of their stories.
And will that be available soon for us all to see, Whitney?
Absolutely, by the end of the month.
Okay, that's great. It's wonderful. My good news, as I mentioned, I'm getting my second shot today, so I'm excited about that. But it's Euro 2020, even though it's 2021. So every day there are 3 soccer games that I am trying to cram in, and amongst everything else. So a big game coming up tomorrow, and I'm sure, Jen, your dad will be looking forward to the England-Scotland game tomorrow. So very distressing incident happened on the pitch in one of the first games. One of the Denmark players suffered a cardiac arrest during the game, and never seen anything like that. CPR on the pitch for over 15 minutes. They resuscitated him. He's one of the top players in the world, Christian Eriksen. and he is doing great in the hospital. So we're very thankful for that. But yeah, exciting games, and you know, a year late, but they're happening. So anyway, does anybody else have anything to add? Janet's not here today to do a learning corner item, but does anybody else have anything they want to share before we conclude today's meeting? Dean, go ahead, please.
I just want to wish all the dads out there have a great, happy Father's Day weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, have a great weekend. So everybody have a great week, and thanks for being here today. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.